Yeah, there was the first one, you know, you didn't know what to expect, and it was just, it's hard to explain when you see there's so much going on, and this flak, and I didn't see many fighters going in, and Robbie the navigator made a point of keeping us in the right spot, steered away from a lot of hot spots, and they told you there was going to be intruders, our own aircraft in the stream, so we had to watch for those. And our main job, myself and Graham Tyndall, the mid-upper gunner, was to make sure nobody sneaked up on us. So we didn't see where we're going into the stuff, but I'd see it where we'd been. And so if I'd have seen some of that stuff we're going into, it would have scared me. But we didn't have the feeling, we weren't really scared because we thought, well, it's not going to be us. They're losing a lot of people, but it's not going to be us. We're all right. And we had that feeling, and I don't know what it was, that they were losing a lot of crews at 428 then early. I don't know what it was, but well, when we were on there, right, when we were in first there, I only saw one crew that ever finished. And going in to these, going in the bomb run, we had to watch for the fighters wouldn't go in over the target. You were all over the target. It was flak and searchlights. That was a problem there, and it was heavy. You'd think it was impossible to get through those black clouds in front of you, and the noise would rattle off the plane like hail, and you'd think the thing was full of holes, and sometimes there was no holes. But the fighters would try to get you going in and coming out. That's what you had to watch. But over the target, they didn't go in because they'd be shot down the same as you. Over the target, a lot of times it was late daylight, depending on the weather. So you'd see aircraft going all on around you, and you didn't. I just kind of didn't concentrate on that. I just concentrated on trying to see if there's anything out there. So
right, and you would be keeping.
Well, the speeds were around 200. Weren't even that fast. And the fighters, of course, a lot faster than we were. So if you were able to see one coming in, it was all talked over before the pilot knew what was going on. We'd just tell him, if there's something coming, we'll say we're coming in the starboard side or port side. And we'd see something coming in. A lot of times you'd see something, you didn't know what you'd say. Appears to be some unknown aircraft coming in the left side, prepare to corkscrew port, and that meant for him to throw everything down to the left side. You drop straight down, and then at the bottom he pulled up into kind of a roll and come back up again. The idea was that this fighter would overshoot you, and that was a hope. And by the time he got circled, he'd circle around again. We were gone or in the cloud or somewhere else. That was the idea of it, just for him to overshoot. And it was the same, the starboard, the same. And it was just a maneuver that we'd practice and training. And it was a lot of work for the pilot, because he wasn't a big guy, and he'd be puffing. Yeah. Big aircraft to pull back up again.
That's right, yeah. Violent maneuver to shake the fighters.
Yeah.
And if you had to guesstimate how many times you had to do a corkscrew, what would you say, 5 or 6 times?
We never had that many. No, I always had 1 or 2, but never in training. We'd had quite a few, but not on ops. There wasn't that many. Maybe one or 2. There wasn't some nights we had nothing.
Sure.
So other nights you were going a lot. We didn't take a chance. If we see something we didn't know what it was, away we'd go.
Right.
Corkscrew left or right, port or starboard. We didn't wait.
To Berlin, which they say
well, the thought
like
of it,
running down the valley of death.
When we went to briefing and saw the red lines up to Berlin, you know, oh boy, this is something. But as we said, we never thought about it wasn't going to be us. We didn't have to worry. But going in there, I'm sitting in the back. I didn't see what we're going into. I'd seen where we'd been, and that was enough. There was a lot of planes going down you could see, and you didn't know sometimes whether they were actually a plane or what. But these had all kinds of anti-aircraft besides the big black spots. There was things like onion balls coming at you, just keep coming and following you along. You'd think if they ever caught up to you, that'd be it. But they just seemed to follow you. And all kinds of, it was just like a big fireworks program. And then all the, down below, just all flames and a hell of a mess. So, but as I said, I saw where we'd been. I didn't see it going in. It might have been a different thing. But we always had that feeling we're all right.
Yes, and so I'm looking at